Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of CollaborEAT Live. Today, I have the great pleasure to interview Nancy Brodzki. Let me tell you a little bit more about CollaborEAT Live. It's from my collaborative team, and it provides digestible content to both professionals and the public on a variety of topics relating to the collaborative process. Episodes consist of a variety of topics driven by our followers and our members. Topics ranging from ethical considerations, best practices, problem solving, marketing, specialized topics related to collaborative practice, practice tools, and more. CollaborEAT Live provides thought-provoking conversation and educational information about the collaborative process. So let me introduce you to Nancy Brodzki. Most of you probably know her. She's the founding partner in the law firm of Brodzki Jacobs, located in the heart of downtown Coral Springs. Her practice is focused on collaborative family law, family mediation, complex family law litigation, LGBT family law, adoption, and surrogacy, and she is a certified guardian ad litem for children and family cases. Nancy is past president of the Collaborative Family Law Professionals of South Florida, where she continues to serve on the board. She is a past board member of the Broward County Bar Association and continues to be an active member. She is the administrator of the 17th Judicial Circuit's Collaborative Pro Bono Pilot Project, and I believe that's what she's going to talk to us about today. So, hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Carol Ann. Great to be with you, and thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Pro Bono Project, how it got started, and how other communities can get something similar started?
Well, we were fortunate enough to have a judge who was very interested in launching this project in Broward County, borrowing from a similar program that at one time was going on in Miami-Dade County. So Judge Andrea Gunderson actually was the catalyst for beginning the program prior to her leaving the family division for a different division for judges. So it launched really in early 2019. So we have completed 2 full years of the program and are into our 3rd year. And it is a singular division within the court system, now Judge Dale Cohen's division. And the way it works is the case administrator for the courthouse, the court administrator who runs all of the case managers for all of the judges, cherry picks qualifying cases from now Judge Cohen's docket that qualify by being either a divorce or paternity case with children, and B, that does not have any open domestic violence or dependency cases, and last, do not have attorneys filing notices of appearances for the clients. So that is the initial screening tool, at which time then the judge, through his case manager, sets up a case management conference, inviting these families to a conference that the judge sort of moderates at the very beginning, but then opens up for myself or another member of our team, because I cannot do this alone. I have a team that helps me. And there's another component that's being offered through a local program known as FACES, where they are also offered in conjunction with a collaborative process. They're offered free classes for co-parenting through the FACES program. And they are given an opportunity to opt into a collaborative process. We explain it, we answer their questions, and we also do a little bit of further screening to determine whether we think they are a good fit for the program. And we've learned a lot along the way in the 3 years, and it's become much more successful. And we've helped over 24 families fully in the process. And our success rate for a resolution is over 80%.
Wow. How consistent is that with the collaborative process in general?
I think it's not quite as successful in terms of the rate of people either resolving their cases because of the collaborative process or reconciling, which I count as a successful outcome because that's what the parties chose and it didn't involve litigation. And I think one of the things that we have learned through this program is that collaborative really depends on the clients being fully invested. And I don't mean with money. It's not about money, but it is about attitude. And what we're finding in an anecdotal way, and somebody should probably do a study on this, one of our perhaps mental health professionals or other people who are used to running these kinds of studies, to really look at how that might be explained by the fact that these people are being sort of guided into the program in a different way because they already filed with a court, and they filed not just because they didn't know that this was out there, but they also filed because they didn't have attorney guidance. And what we're finding is that there is a larger percentage of a population that is simply less likely to be agreeable with one another from the outset.
As opposed to people who have researched the process options perhaps and have chosen the collaborative process specifically. Yeah. So
and people who have maybe had a conversation with a professional to learn about different options even before they filed.
Right. These people filed because they really wanted the divorce, and then they were being offered this option afterwards. How important do you think it is to have the judges on board with this program?
Well, I don't think it works without having a judge's involvement. The judge has to be ready to give that simple abatement of the process and be willing to leave the parties alone to allow them the time that they need to collaborate. The rule provides for 90 days. 90 days is often not enough to complete an entire case. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So without a judge being really friendly to the process, you're going to get more pushback. So I've been honored to talk to a number of attorneys from around the country who are looking to do similar types of projects. And everyone seems to know the best way to get a project off the ground through the court system is to get the buy-in of at least one judge to participate. So I think it's critical.
And is there any type of training or introductory presentation that the judges go through when these kind of programs are pitched to them?
Well, Judge Gunderson, when she started this program, had actually taken an introductory 2-day collaborative training. While it's not required, I would urge anyone wanting to get a judge involved that the best way to introduce them is to get them a free admission to an introductory training course. And I suspect that most real reputable trainers would be only too happy to extend a free admission to a judge who wanted to learn about the process, since judges are usually given free admission to these kinds of seminars because they don't make more money. It's not a new part of their practice. This is not a financial benefit to them. They live on a fixed salary, and I would argue that they should be given free training. But yeah, I think it would be helpful. But also just a good extensive conversation with a professional who's extremely knowledgeable and able to really fully explain the process, the benefits, I think would be adequate. And let's face it, judges are in favor of everything that helps them clear their dockets and get cases over. And they're fully on board with however people can settle their cases and keep them out of court. I have never met a judge who wasn't a fan of any process that would do that.
No, that's right. So you finding that the judges then who are involved in this project have a tendency to be more patient even after the 90 days. If it looks like the case is progressing, they're willing to extend that time to the couple?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what kind of professionals are best suited for this kind of program?
Well, one of the great benefits that we've incorporated into the 17th Circuit's Pro Bono Collaborative Project is we're giving many professionals their very first opportunity to work a case. So we are inviting professionals who've never had a case before, but if you've got to be trained. We're not looking for this to be a training opportunity, but if you haven't been trained or if you don't feel ready to handle your first case, whether you're an attorney or a facilitator or a financial professional, you have the opportunity to be a note taker in this project and basically observe a case from start to finish. And that's the real benefit of this program, is we're giving many professionals their very first opportunity to work on a case without having to have figured out how to first attract a collaborative client of their own, or if they're not comfortable charging someone to do something when they've never done it before. And maybe they feel that, you know, their guinea pig case shouldn't be someone paying them. Well, here's an opportunity to participate in a project and learn and not be charging the clients.
Right.
And if you're not the lead professional, you can be a note taker and observe other, maybe more seasoned professionals doing a case. And it can be a tremendous learning opportunity for the professional with none or less experience.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And a way to give back to the community, because we know that cost is often a big factor for middle to low income families looking for a divorce process option.
That's probably what I am most proud of about this project, is how it expands access to a process that might otherwise be financially unaffordable. In all of the 24 cases that really went through the process, I think that only one case turned out to be a case where there was some discussion about whether this process should have been free to them because they had some assets. And I actually had to sort of troubleshoot that as an ethical consideration for a member of the team who was somewhat uncomfortable with the fact that they were providing a free service to someone that they felt could afford to pay something. But we had made a decision early on in this process that a means test was not going to be a consideration. And 1 out of 24, even having that be raised as an issue, I think shows that this is a pretty tiny consideration. And, you know, different programs could make different choices, and during the process, screen for a means test. You know, I don't think there's a singular approach to this. I don't claim to have invented the perfect wheel, and I didn't invent this. I borrowed from other programs, including another pro bono program in Broward County called the Mission United Project, which helps the families going through divorce or paternity cases where one or both of the parents are a veteran or an active service member. And that is another free project, but because it isn't through the court system, it doesn't attract as many participants because they have to get connected to the Mission United Project of needing some sort of services from Mission United in order to ever learn about this availability. So getting military families into the Mission United Project is far more problematic than it is for our project, which naturally has a series of people who are filing for divorce.
Yeah, quite a number of them.
And they're a pool of potential families from which to pull into a program, as opposed to Mission United that is basically waiting for the phone to ring.
So we're
And-
about to wrap up, but for before we go, what advice or one point would you have for our colleagues watching who want to get a program like this started in their circuits?
Well, first of all, feel free to call me or email me. I'm happy to share what we have done in terms of materials, structures. I'm happy to have a conversation by Zoom. I spoke to someone out in California who is going to be launching a project or intends to, and I'm really happy to share the knowledge, the things that we've learned from by the mistakes that we've made and help other people avoid those mistakes. We always learn the most from the mistakes. And you know, I'm sure there are plenty of other resources. We have shared our information with IACP and with FACP, our international and our statewide organizations, but please consider me a resource. I'm happy to share what we've learned and anything we can do to help other attorneys get it off the ground, and to look at it as a learning opportunity and a way of giving back to the community rather than a way of promoting yourself. This is not about self-promotion. It's really about giving back both to the community and to our professional colleagues, giving them opportunities to put that training into use and to get more confident handling cases. By making the first one, at least you don't have to worry that anybody's going to complain that they paid you and it took you too long because you didn't know what you were doing.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Nancy. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you. That's it for this episode of CollaborEAT Live, and we will see you next week. Signing off. Bye, everybody.